very windy situation. We have a run finally at a very long distance. So now life jacket and go out with the boat. Finally, I managed to come back here on the bankside. I have to say that for a little time I was a little bit worried as well. Why? Just because I realized once I was in the middle of the lake how much stronger it is, the wind there. I estimated like 50-60 km/h easy, or probably more. And yeah, but once I managed to land the fish, then I was a little bit worried. But then at the same time I realized then that I was much far away from my camp basically, so I was like okay, let's see how I can turn back home. But I did it, and the result is here in the net. It's a beautiful mirror carp, so we start great this adventure. And magically the hook just come off once I just landed on the cradle. Here we go with a beautiful mirror chunk from this gravel pit. Fight was very exciting for obvious reason with this strong wind going on, and once the fish has a lot of water, below its belly. I have to say that they try hard to fish down to the bottom again, and yeah, it's pure adrenaline. Wow, very happy with this first one. Lovely. A new session has just started. So basically, we arrived here on this gravel pit the day of yesterday, and we knew that basically we would face some harsh condition, let me say. Why? Simply because the weather forecasters say that for at least the first 2 days of this session, we will pick up some wind. But since we arrived yesterday, already the wind was very strong. And this has bring me some changes to what was my main idea at the beginning. According to my first plan, I wanted to set the camp on a different position, but that would means to have the very strong wind just straight in the face for the first at least 48 hours. So it was kind of impossible to me to afford to have that wind all the time in front of me. It will be such hard times for me to select the position, to drop the baits and so on. So I just managed to find this place, and from here actually I have still a good variety of spots that I can fish. From here it means also that I had to choose these spots at longer distance. So I knew that, yeah, it will be more sacrifice, let's say. It means that I have to be more careful in using the battery for the engine to go out with the boat and so on, but not impossible. Once I was out yesterday, the wind was still pretty normal, acceptable, I will say, around 20-25 kilometers per hour, and this allowed me to go out with the boat and spend good 3 hours actually to find the spots. The vastness I have in front of me, it's really important, and from my bank side to the opposite side we have about 550 meters easy. So I know that actually in any case from here between the opposite side I found 3 different spots where basically we have a depth from 8 to 10, 12 meters, and then suddenly rising to some very nice plateau at about 5 to 7 meters. And of course these are very great point of interest for the fishes, because in the middle of nowhere from the depth they can just rise on this plateau and find some food for many reasons, because actually we are in this transition of period where the spring is approaching basically. So we have sunny days and warmer temperature as well, so it's very good for the fish also in the daylight eventually to rise up on this area and eventually to start feeding. So basically I've been doing this carefully yesterday, but then nothing happened till in the night basically. So then in the morning I just managed to retrieve all the rods, to check the baits, make some fresh baits to put all over the spots and go out again, because I knew also that after that in the middle of the morning more or less the wind will be picking up much more, and so at least that for the entire day I will be fishing properly. Then all of a sudden I had a first run, and it was already a hell of a wind out there. Even if now here on the base camp I'm pretty much covered and protected by the wind, out in the middle of the lake is pushing so much. And I wasn't really expecting this. So once I got a run, I was all excited by the chance that I having a run finally, that I just started to go out with the boat. But once I was in the middle of the lake, I was realizing how difficult it could be, how pushing how hard pushing it was the wind. So basically, yeah, the fight of the fish, it was not only with the fish but also with the wind. And yeah, I had to be struggling quite a little bit. So in the end, yeah, I managed to land the fish. It was a very nice mirror carp, chunky, of more than 13 kilo basically, and it was a very, very good fighter. Also because once we are in the middle of the lake, the depth is important. As I said, we have point of 15 meter, so basically the fish was pushing to reach the bottom. And for me also it was a very good fun, you know, a kind of like on a movie, with a lot of wind on my face, the waves crashing on the boat and all the waters just all around me, that it literally drenched me. So it was still fun and nice, exciting experience. Now I have to say that I have 2 rods out, because while I was coming here also I heard the decking was screaming a little bit, but I wasn't in time enough to take the rod, and basically the fish was gone. Honestly, for as much as I want to be fishing properly with all the rods out, the condition now is too dangerous also to go out with the boat to drop the bait. I have to say that also I'm sure that I will not be able to drop the bait carefully in the spot I want, because time that I see on the sonar the spot I want to fish, and then I stop and the wind will blow me away immediately. In really a couple of seconds I will be moved away from 10-20 meters probably. So I prefer at this point to let the spots rest. Now I know that still I will have this strong wind for tonight, and then the early hours of tomorrow morning it should be, as they say, quite flat and good condition for me to drop the bait and keep going on eventually catching some fishes. So now I will just get advantage of this time to tie some more rigs, and yeah, just be prepared as much as possible for tomorrow. fantastic. Good morning. It's early morning. Finally the wind has stopped. So I managed to put some rigs in place with a fresh bait. And it's so good to go out with flat water that the wind is not pushing you out from the spot, so you can do accurate dropping of bait, rigs and everything. Good feeling also because with more calm I take my time to see better the spot and so on, and I really like it more and more, the spots I found the first day. But now let's say that I couldn't enjoy at its best the view and just going all around to see the perimeter and so on. So yeah, let's say that from today I'm more confident in good things to happen. One very important thing is that as long as such a big water activities by other people are plenty, so like canoeing, diving, surfing and so on, it's very recommended to use backlead, because yes, it happened. The first day a canoe just took all 3 rods and it was like, damn. After 2.5 hours in fighting with the wind to drop the bait, he just took all 3 rods. Second rod is just being put in place. Let's go for the last one. Okay, job done. All 3 rods are in place, and I'm positive. I'm positive because also Probably later rain is coming and no more wind, and this could be a very good situation. Now, breakfast. Well, I have to say that I was quite confident this morning when I dropped the bait with the new rigs presentation and so on, because especially on this rod, I saw that once I arrived there with the boat, I saw immediately on the screen of the Eco Sounder there was many arches feeding probably of what was my baiting up from yesterday. So yeah, now just after maybe 1 hour, and I got this run of a very nice chunky mirror carp. Here you go. Thank you. See you. Fishing venues like this is always intriguing. for many reasons. First of all, it's a gravel pit which is still active from the excavation. As you probably can hear in the background, the machinery, they are just digging and digging for the gravel from the water. It's yeah, as I said, it's very intriguing and interesting to fish places like this because most of the time they are well aged, let's say. I'm not sure about how old it is, this one in particular, but I know it's pretty old. That's the reason why there are some old residents here on this lake. I'm aware, I know that there are some very nice big ones, over 30 kilos, and not only this is the reason why, of course, a carp angler want to pay a visit on this place, but in general, the beauty of the venue, because we have gene clear water, we have very important depth, over 10 to 15 meters as well, and in the middle of the lake is literally a labyrinth, because you have plateau here and there, so you must go out and be careful on looking on the eco sounder to find the spot, intercept the fish, keep the fish on the baited area, and so on. So yeah, it's always it gives you stimulation once you are on the water to find the spot and find the fishes. Talking to the locals, the guards, the rangers, and so on, I knew that there was some very big fishes, but due to the vastness of this water, of course, it's not easy. And on a wide place, public like this, of course, the stock is not unlimited of big fishes. There are a smaller number of the big ones, and this is more challenging in my opinion. According to the weather condition, also we are here on the flatlands, which means that literally every time it's pretty windy here. You can have soft wind, 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, but at least one day in a week you're gonna catch some 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. So you need to be well ready with the equipment, the boat, the engine, batteries, and so on, life jacket, everything you need, so that you are prepared when the weather is gonna change like this. Very unpredictable, but you must know that sooner or later the weather will change and you will get into a storm, a very strong wind, and so on. And also this is something related to the fish behavior, because basically once you start a session, you might have 1 or 2 days with not a touch, not a beep, not even seeing fish in the eco sounder. But when the weather changes, some stormy coming, cloudy, rainy a little bit, and then mostly after the wind that is gonna pick up and slowing down, then the fish is gonna be more active and come to your feeded spot. This is all about being patient, basically, because on a place like this, you know that you just can't pretend to come here and 1 hour, 2 hours to have run. We had some very nice action, I have to say. After the strong wind that stopped in the night, finally we have some calm, almost flat water. But yeah, as you can see from the backdrop here, I have a lot of dark clouds all over, and the forecast said that's probably is gonna rain, but not really unsure. I like this situation, to be honest. It's very carpy because the pressure is getting a little bit lower, also as the temperature is cooling down a little bit, and this is probably the reason I was having more action in the last few hours. Now let's see what happened for today. Tomorrow also probably more rain will come, but I'm not afraid of it, and actually I just can't wait for it. I'm realizing only now, actually, the size of this fish. First of all, finally it's a common after a couple of mirrors, and probably is the biggest so far. We will see. Oh man, let me say how grateful it is when you catch fishes still with pristine condition of mouth, fins, body in general. It gives you the feeling that you are catching virgin fish, I have to say. And when they are this size, oh my god, look at the tail. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is still pretty hungry, I have to say. Oh, relax, relax, and lift. Wow, what a punk common carp. Full belly, full power. Very great fight out there in the depth of the lake, and also on this crystal clear water. Oh my god, it's so beautiful when you see the fish slowly emerging to the top, and then your heart start bumping faster and faster. Oh, amazing, really amazing. So basically, even if I'm using different rigs, but the presentation is pretty much the same for all the three rods. Basically, it's a snowman and with a 24mm bottom bait and a 20mm dumbbell, in order just to keep it floating like this. And this bottom bait, basically, I prefer to fish it with a bigger diameter, because I know the fishes here, even if they are a small size, the mouth is quite big, and yeah, why not? They can fit a lot of these bodies. So basically, yeah, I'm not afraid to use this big diameter. Oh, I just ran out of battery. Hopefully, thank God, I was by now closer to the shore. But no worries, I have a spare one. Actually, it's quite normal to be in need of at least 2 batteries whenever we are approaching sessions like this, because we are dropping baits at very long distance, and mostly, as I said, for the first 2 days I had to deal with a very strong wind, so more than ever you need to go full gas, we say, like Valentino Rossi, and yeah, you just have to deal with the wind and the waves this way. Wow, another immaculate fish from the gravel pit. Oof. Torpedo size, this one, and few scars all over the body, probably from some beginning of spawning or scratches from the past. what a session. My time has finished to stay on the lake. Actually, yeah, the bad weather that the forecast said, that the forecast announced, it just arrived, and after a very epic night that I spent here on the lake, it was still a little bit rainy and windy, but not like now. And I managed to catch about four fishes, and one was a very nice common, actually, probably the biggest of the session, I will say, around 15 kilo plus. So I think it's quite fair now to let them spawn with their time regularly and so on, and then why not, I will pay a visit maybe in a month or two in the summertime, probably, to this gravel pit, because it's so beautiful, and for sure it hides some pretty nice fish that I try to catch.